Creating student centers. Centers are no longer just for primary classrooms. Learn strategies to reorganize lessons to include small group learning centers that include student choice. Teachers will learn how to organize technology-rich centers to meet the diverse needs of students while aligning the tasks clearly to the standards. Well, we have to get ideas for our centers, and off to Pinterest we go. Full of center ideas, all different things that you can do. Remember, when you are using Pinterest, be specific when you do your search. If you are a high school social studies teacher, pick a Civil War. Now that might even be too broad. You might even want to drill down to one of the wars. So you can go ahead and be as specific as you can when you go ahead and search, and you'll find resources that other people can suggest. So I always need fresh ideas when I'm thinking about centers, and Pinterest is exactly that for me. Fresh ideas. The other place I often go to is Twitter to get some ideas on what else I can do. And again, depending on what your discipline is, you can go drill down to specific chats, like the science chat. All they talk about is science, ideas, activities, things that you can do. So rely on your social media places to get ideas. We need fresh ideas. This was one of them that came out of Pinterest. 75 fun ways to practice spelling. And if you're new to Pinterest, you can go ahead and search for her name, and then you can go ahead and follow her. And when she posts more, you'll be notified. And so Pinterest is one place, of course, that you can go to start to collect ideas that you can use in centers. Now, in a center, it can be all different things. So what I'm going to do in this lesson is kind of walk you through some of my favorite things. And I picked out things that can be used in elementary school as well all the way up through high school. And one of the things that every one of us could do to increase student achievement is do more work with words. Have students work with words in any way you can. And this is one of my favorite places to go work with words. Tagxedo. And in Tagxedo, these are examples of word clouds, or tag clouds they're often called. Tag clouds, where the word that is used more often becomes larger. That's kind of the essence of a tag cloud. But the twist in Tagxedo is that you need you can put it in picture form. So they give you some real basic forms, but you can also upload photographs. That takes a little bit of extra tweaking. I found it very easy to use the shapes that they have already, and then my words, and it looks great. Tagxedo can be a little fussy. It needs a plugin by Microsoft that is Silverlight. And depending on how your plugins are managed at school, you might have to do this at home. And when it says upload and install this plugin, it's fine. But sometimes the school computers might not serve that. So you check that out before you plan on doing this as a center. Almost everybody is successful with Wordle. Everybody except those of you on an iPad at this moment, because this does need Flash. So Wordle.net. It's a classic. It's been around a long time, but everybody can work with words here. And if you're at the middle school, high school, you might have students in your English class take their essay that they just wrote, paste it into Wordle, and see what themes or words are repeated more often. I worked with a middle school teacher that every time a student turned in a paper, they have to attach the Wordle. And she said it was very, very effective in helping them reflect on their message and the theme that they were creating. I thought, what a great idea. And so now my friend Jen Wagner, she's amazing. She must have 10 more hours in her day than I do. But she has designed a whole series of Guess the Wordle. And she has one for every day of the year, and you can go in and guess the Wordle. She's got it all set up in a really cool system that Monday's one type of Wordle and Tuesday's a different one. But thank you to the great people like Jen that go ahead and provide these resources for us. So Projects by Jen is the way that you're going to get to her resources. This was one, it's relatively new. So it's kind of like Tagxedo where you have the shapes. Wordle, there's, I don't think there's shapes in Wordle. They're definitely, you can't import pictures, but I'm going to guess tag you will. I'm not sure on that one. But again, this is a tag cloud. You see the words become larger that are used more often. Lots of different things. I haven't played too much with this, but I don't think this is also going to work on an iPad. Here's another one that I found. Transform your text into a word cloud. To me, it looked very similar to Wordle, but always good to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 ways to do everything you want, because you just never know what's going to work well on that given day that you need it. Okay, SketchUp. I love SketchUp. SketchUp was recently sold to Trimble. It's no longer Google SketchUp, it's Trimble SketchUp, but they have promised to keep it part of it free. There's a pro version, and then there is the free version that we all love. The best place, if you have never played with SketchUp, go to YouTube and just put in SketchUp channel. You won't believe how many videos are there. It's really, truly an incredible thing. But what is Google SketchUp? It's 3D modeling software that's free that you can download. So it's CAD for all the rest of us that don't know CAD. And you can create all different types of projects, build, make, and do all different things. And there's a warehouse where you can import different things. It's really an incredible, free piece of software. Don't feel like you have to be the expert on manipulating, managing everything. Students pick this up very, very quickly. Especially I found students that are gamers. They're used to kind of working in this 3D environment. I flip my house upside down and it's all over. But those things that you build, if they are to scale and accurate, they actually could be brought into Google Earth. So SketchUp and Google Earth can make the connection. See how those buildings are popping up? Somebody made them. Most of the time they take pictures of the building and then they go into SketchUp and actually make the models. How cool would that be? So what'd you do today? Oh, I built the Eiffel Tower. I did this. This makes a great center. The only thing I'm going to warn you about is it's hard to get kids away from this. And Google Earth is a great center activity, mainly because you don't want to bring an entire group of students of any age to a computer lab and try to get on Google Earth. It just takes too much bandwidth to go ahead and do that. So one student, one computer, this is a great station activity. That's much better than 27 kids trying to go to it at one time. Also a great partner activity where they can actually design a virtual field trip to move from one place to another. It might be the way they summarize a book or something like that. So Google Earth is rich with possibilities for a center type of activity. Now, Google has all different things, including historic imagery. And depending on what you teach, that historic imagery could be a really great way for students to summarize what they learned over, time, so on and so forth. They also built right in Mars, sky, moon, ocean. I haven't figured out ocean yet. I don't think I've spent enough time in there. And I definitely have not explored 3D trees or the 3D imagery I use all the time. And so Google Earth filled with ways that you can connect curriculum. A lot of people just think of it as, ooh, let's go look at my house. But we can embed it into our curriculum, aligning it to our standards. This is one of my classic favorites. This is the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. Again, not iPad friendly. This is old. It goes back to 1999, but they still work. And what's great about this is it can be for the preschool set, it can be all the way up for the high school set, and you just pick and choose which manipulators that you would like to work with. And rich resources that students can go ahead and work. It's a great way to visualize the concepts that they might be struggling with in the math classroom. Now, staying along the math path is NCTM Illuminations Collection. This is rich with ideas, simulations, things that students can build, create, make. And so illuminations. The one thing I will say about illuminations, I find myself, it is very difficult to search. So sometimes what I do is actually kind of trick it. I use Google and I search for, maybe I'm looking for adding fractions, and then I'll put illuminations, but I'll do that in Google instead of coming to the site actually. And I find that I can get to the resources I need a little faster. It's kind of that's my trick. Now, there's a lot of places that have interactive sites, and this is just another one. This is called ShowDoor, and ShowDoor has some free things and it has for fee things. But I hadn't visited in a long time, and I was pleasantly surprised that there is quite a bit of free things, including lots of simulators. So students can put in maybe the problem that they're working on, and it will actually create a visual model of that. And that it really helps a lot of students. So that's ShowDoor. This tip, this is a must for any center. And what this is a earplug splitter. So you could have up to 5 people listening out of one headphone port. This is about $10 to $14. Belkin makes it. It's actually called the RockStar. And out of any headphone port, now we have 5 quiet, happy people. So this works great, especially if you're going to make a center around an iPad or an iPod. You can go ahead and use this, and you can have, it's not going to disturb the rest of the classroom. So this is the RockStar by Belkin. There's other ones, but actually this is my favorite one. Creating student centers is possible at any grade level. It's really rethinking our standards and how we deliver information to our students. And it's really thinking about letting students work collaboratively. But really important when we're thinking of instructional design is giving students options, choices, that everything doesn't have to be done the same way for every student. And so I hope you picked up a few ideas. And if not, go back to your standards and think about, okay, here's what I'm trying to teach. What's another way that I could deliver this versus standing and deliver whole group instruction? So just rethinking the idea of small groups. Thanks.